Hi, this is Elizabeth, and today I'm going to show you the user-defined classes. For this recording, I would like to use my class that I create for a field, which is one of the exercises we use for this model. So the classes, when you construct the classes, you need three elements, very important. We need the fields, we need constructors, and we need methods. So our fields are going to be our variables. The constructors, we're going to tell what we do with the fields, and methods is the user doing giving a value to the constructors, and then final results are going to the method. So it's basically the calculation. So I have here three fields. The fields are called as private because we don't want the user to modify, and we want just to be called between this class. So we don't want any outsource calling our values or variables and make any changes. So we want to keep it private. So I do have one string and two integers here, which is the width and the length. So for my constructors, I do have my default first. So my default is I just given the value, a default value to my variables. So then I do have a public field string a new crop. So in this one, I'm saying I want to modify only the crop, but I don't want to modify width and length. I want that to be set. So when you are creating a constructor, as you can notice, you start with a public and the number and the name of the class, which is field. So here is public field, and I'm calling a new string, a new integer, and another new integer. So for this constructor, I'm gonna allow the user to enter three parameters to make change to the default values of the crop width and length. For this exercise, we cannot have any negative numbers. So I'm using conditional here. So the condition is if width is lesser than 0, then show me or print a message saying that is the incorrect width. Width must be positive, and the width is gonna get the value, the default value. So here I'm calling this width equals 100. Same for the length. If the length is lesser than 0, then I'm gonna print out the message, and I'm gonna declare the length as the default value. Then we have our methods. So our methods has getters, setters, and our final print out our final result. So we first want to get what is the value of each of our methods, not methods, or the value of each of our fields, which are variables, and we want to set the new value and have a final result. So in the first part here, I have the getter. So for public string get crop, I'm gonna return crop. For the width, I'm gonna return the width, and for the public and integer get length, I'm gonna return the length. Then we have our setters. So now I'm gonna say, okay, so what we want to make the set, we want to get the new value. So the new value for crop is gonna be crop equal new crop value, and it's gonna return the new crop value. So in this moment is going to be replace our initial string, which is with the new value. Then we do have the set width. Remember, the set width cannot be a negative number. So what I did here is that use conditional. So if W1, which is the width 1, is greater than 0, which is a positive number, then this is going to be equal the value the user gave, which is the W1, and that's going to return a true. If not, else, the width is going to remain the same value, the default value, and that's going to return a false. Also for our length, it's going to be the same. So in this case, I'm calling a public boolean because we want to the result we want to be either true or false, which is the requirements for this class. So for this class, it's saying if the length is greater than 0, which is going to be a positive number, then the length is going to be equal to the new length, and this is going to return it true. Otherwise, this length is going to continue the same, so there is not going to be any changes. So in our calculation, we want to calculate the area. That's one of the requirements for this exercise. So to calculate the area, I'm saying, okay, if the width is greater than 0 and the length is greater than 0, so no negative numbers, then the area is going to be equal the width times the length, and I'm going to return the area. So finally, I'm printing out my results. So I'm calling a public string to string, and I'm gonna return this message growing, and then plus this crop in this width by this length field. So this is gonna give us a message with the red part is there the hard-coded message, and this is calling our variables to display on a string. And this is it for customized classes. As I said, those classes are, you can do your own classes. Make sure you have your fields, your constructors, and your methods in order for this to work fine. I hope you enjoyed this video. Have a good afternoon. Thank you.